Well, I'm excited to introduce you all to Dianne. Dianne has been, we've been working together for about 3 months now, and Dianne runs Northern Canine Academy out in Sudbury, Ontario. Now, do you call it Sudbury or Sudbury?
Sudbury.
Oh, okay. With that, I wanted to bring Dianne on because she's worked really hard and got some spectacular results. And, I want to talk about it a little bit. So if you don't mind, can you give me a little bit of information about, what services you offer and how long you've been in the industry?
So I do group classes. We teach a little bit of sports as well. But the sports classes that I have, it's just more for pet folks. It's not
Sure.
competitive at all. I do some private sessions as well for behavioral issues. And it doesn't mean reactivity exclusively. It could just be overgreeters, like
Sure.
dogs that are just super hyper. Um, We do a little bit of summer camp, I call it, in the summer for when folks get puppies and they need somebody to watch the dogs, stuff like that. I've been in it for a few years. Um,
You don't want
I
to disclose
really,
that? I'm just
not really. So then I started, it just ages me. Then I started really getting into it, doing one-on-one sessions during COVID. The dog population really blew up out here. And
sure.
so people found that they couldn't go to classes, but they were struggling. So I would go to their house, and that's how it started, essentially.
Okay, right on. Well, and even before we get any deeper, since you kind of brought up a little bit of the one-on-one stuff, I wanted to congratulate you and celebrate that you almost 10x your private session numbers per month, going from an average of about 3 lessons per month to 24, with a waiting list. So that's monumental in a short amount of time. So congratulations. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. It's pretty huge.
Oh, for sure. So I guess why and how did we first connect?
I started following along on Facebook. I was a little bit of a lurker, just following along and reading your posts. And then you posted something about seasonal slumps. That really got my attention. Um, and I found that I started to get a little bit nervous about seasonal slumps. I mean, you have your summertime and then you have Christmas. And so I thought, okay, well, if he's gonna if he's gonna post it, I want to see what he can do. And there we are.
For sure. So then were you in the midst of a seasonal slump or low at the time, or were you more just preemptively like taking action?
I felt like it was starting. Um, and I didn't want to. There are places that don't have seasonal slumps, and I wasn't sure how to get out of it because it was starting to. I noticed a decline in class enrollments.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. So then, how were things in the business before we started to work together then? Like around that, uh,
There were
time
seasonal
frame.
slumps for sure. Things were okay. Like it was okay. It was enough to keep running
Sure.
and keep going, and it was okay. And you just kind of bit the bullet on the seasonal slumps. So
So then like now, where do you feel like things are at in this like kind of over the near term?
I no longer have stress. I don't worry about seasonal slumps. I don't worry about class enrollments. I have tools now to avoid all of those things, and the business is thriving, to
No.
say the least.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. So then, do you feel like, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but do you feel just more confident or empowered to, combat seasonal variability?
Yeah, 1,000% for sure. I have the tools now to avoid any of that stuff. I know when to start. Um, I know when to start planning, and I just following the program. You pay attention to things, and you don't worry about it so much anymore.
Yeah, and one thing I personally noticed is like you became a lot more proactive, like months almost versus weeks.
Yeah. Yes.
And I mean,
Yeah.
that's really good because we tend to be a lot more strategic if we're thinking further ahead than like, I need this next week or this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it comes across differently for the possible clients, um, how we come across when we're under a time crunch trying to, make sure a
Yeah,
class fills out or what have you.
for sure.
Okay, awesome. So another question I'd just be curious is, did you notice if there was any kind of unexpected benefits of, joining the course that you might have not anticipated?
A couple of things. I think that, like, I hate social media. I'm not a big fan of putting myself out there all the time, but learning to have confidence in what you're posting and then having that confidence to put it out there, that was helpful for me with the program. Um,
What do you think
and then,
aided with the confidence? Do you feel like it was just repetition, or do you feel like it was like kind of following more of a structured plan where you didn't have to try to figure
right,
it out yourself, or
right, having the plan of what to post and how to do it, and having very specific instructions. Just knowing what to do, and then you can slowly build from, okay, like, do these 5 steps, and then you think, oh well, what if I try this, and then that works, and then,
right?
okay, well, I'm going to keep going, and then it just kind of flows together, and now I'm posting little videos and feel better about it.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Okay.
um, the other thing is knowing that I have tools to reach out to my folks and talk to people, and I have a way of tracking um, all of my clients and keep in touch with them. And people like to talk about their experiences, and being able to listen to them, um, and know what they need. It's just a little bit easier. I don't lose people. Like, I don't do a private and then in 2 weeks I can't remember. Like, it's just having a tool to be able to keep in contact with past clients.
Okay. Um, there was something that you had said along those lines. Oh, one unexpected benefit, because I don't know if we had ever talked about this, but might have been, you kind of came in for marketing, consistency with sales and things like that. But then
Yeah.
I think we might have just done it on the fly at some point, is develop like a composite training plan alongside each other to offer, more of a comprehensive plan for your private sessions, which, had a
Yeah.
big piece to accentuating, going from 3 to 24 and a waiting list.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That, I think it was done on the fly. Sometimes when you can't see the forest for the trees, right? Like, you're just in it so much that it just doesn't occur to you to put a program together that where you don't let these people fall through the cracks. It's not just one and done. Like, some of these
Yeah.
dogs need more, and people are willing to spend the time doing more. And so I'm finding now that um, I really enjoy having they have their homework. I really like these programs. I feel like the dogs are benefiting 100%. So
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
absolutely. Well,
Mhm.
and typically the clients get really excited about it too because they get the
Mhm.
amount of support that they want. But one thing I'll mention is what you did an amazing job of was just running with stuff.
Yeah, it
So
was fun.
sometimes, getting people to take action can be hard, and there's fears and doubts and whatever, but like we did it on like a call or something. We threw some stuff together, and I mean, I've done
Yeah.
it a lot, so I can help people do it a bit more efficiently. And then you're like, yeah, okay. And then I think it was like the next day or something, you offered it to an inquiry, and they're like, yeah, let's go. And you're like, okay. So what I
Yeah.
want to reinforce for anyone, also for you, is that it takes a lot of courage to just deploy without maybe having every single answer. So you did a great job of that. But then also the universe or whatever you want to believe in rewarded you with their like, good job. This person wants what you got.
Um, so it is a lot of work. Like all of it starts out as a lot of work. Like, you have to plan it all out and put it all together. But when I started suggesting it to people and putting it out there, they were like, yeah, let's do it. And so now it just flows, and it's not a lot of work now, if that
Yeah,
makes
once
sense.
it's created, like the
Yeah.
composite training plan, then it's like, oh, it's
Mhm.
actually pretty simple to offer after that. Creating it though can definitely be a bit of work for sure.
Right. I think my dog's gonna bark.
Rough.
She might be quiet. Oh, no, we're good.
Okay, all good. All right. If someone was on the fence about, considering my marketing accelerator or how to design, a composite training plan, is there anything you might share with them?
Uh, well, I was on the fence for a long time, but I did it. I finally went ahead and did it, and it's benefited me huge. Sometimes it's um, one of those things where you're not sure if it's going to work for you, but it is a ton of work. But when you finally have a structured path of do these things or follow this, or sometimes it's just different ideas that you need to move you forward. I would actually really tell people to consider doing it. It's benefited me by leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Well,
right. I
I'm
mean,
glad you took the leap.
me too,
And, obviously you're reaping the fruits of your labor. So great
for
job.
sure. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's about it for today, unless there was anything else you wanted to add.
No, I'm good. I think that if you are on the fence, you should do it. Take the leap and do it.
Wise words. Thanks for your time.
Welcome.